So everybody knows that I travel for work as well. I don't just work from my office. I don't just work from home, but I do travel as well. I have a quick story to tell you guys, and I figured everybody should know. It's a trip from hell. It was really aggravating, but at the same time, it's a funny story. So I figured you guys need to hear about it. Um, I just came back late last night from Wisconsin. So about almost a week ago, I was there for almost a week in Wisconsin, and I traveled from Vegas to Chicago, from Chicago to Wisconsin. Okay. Um, and what happened was when I was checking in my luggage with my luggage, I had one suitcase and one carry-on. And while I was checking in my suitcase, I was told that my suitcase was going to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin before I was. It was supposed to be there, beat me before it. And every time I say this to people, they give me this weird look like they're not supposed to do that, but that's what I was told, okay? It's not my first time traveling. It's not going to be my last. I travel all the time. So going back to my suitcase, so I said, okay, that's fine. So from Vegas, I flew to Chicago, and of course, due to the bad weather, and when I say this is a trip from hell, it was a trip from hell. Number one, my trip from Vegas to Chicago was delayed an hour. And it's not, I was like, okay, that's not so bad. I could wait an hour. That's not a problem. I get to Chicago, and my trip gets delayed from Chicago to Milwaukee for 2.5 hours. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster already. Now, of course, me being a psychic medium, I could predict what's going to happen. And before I left for my trip, I told my husband and my family, I said, oh my God, I just have this weird feeling that shit's going to go downhill before my trip even starts. And that's what happened. So my flight got delayed from Vegas to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 2.5 hours. Okay, whatever. So finally, I get to from Chicago to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is the funny part. So while we were in the airplane, I already know that we're going to hit turbulence because of the bad weather. To make matters worse, there is a woman that was sitting across from me on the other side to my right in the airplane. And the minute, and of course, the captain announced that we're going to hit turbulence and, for everybody to put their seatbelts on and sit down and, just stay calm until we're done with it. Fine and dandy. And by then, I hadn't slept in 24 hours, and I really wanted to sleep for a little bit because it was going to be a 3.5 hour flight. And this woman was not making it any better because the whole time during the turbulence, and it only lasted about 20 minutes. And again, I'm trying to catch my Z's because I'm freaking tired, right? And of course I can't because this woman keeps screaming, oh my God, oh Jesus, I'm going to die. We're going to die. I mean, the whole time she's screaming. And I literally wanted to take my shoe off and throw it at her head and tell her to shut the fuck up because I want to sleep. I'm not a really mean person unless you kind of, step over my toes, but that's a different story. So I try to keep my calm, whatever. And I kind of felt bad for her because, I could tell she was really scared and then irritated at the same time, but I didn't really say anything. I just kept it to myself. So finally, we get to Milwaukee and we go down the escalators after we get off the plane to the baggage claim area, and I'm waiting for my luggage. So everybody's grabbing their suitcase off the belt, and I'm standing there waiting for my suitcase. There is no fucking suitcase at all. So I go to the service desk, and I traveled United Airlines, okay? United Airlines. I had never ever had this problem before. Normally I do Delta or Southwest or, whatever. This was my first time doing United Airlines, and it's going to be my last. My suitcase is nowhere to be found. So the nice woman over the counter contacted Chicago to find out what's going on with my suitcase. Come to find out, they had lost my suitcase. About 2 hours later, I had her call again. They had found my suitcase, but this is what happened. We had just missed my suitcase. From Chicago, and of course, Chicago, everybody knows it's the busiest airport in the country, the busiest airport in United States. Okay, and that's understandable. But losing my suitcase and giving excuses are two different stories. You get where I'm going? Come to find out, my suitcase was in the air for 20 minutes circling around Milwaukee Airport, but due to the bad weather and the fog, it wasn't able to land. Of course, with passengers in the airplane, it ended up turning around and going back to Chicago. Frustrating enough? Wait, it gets better. So basically I landed about 6 o'clock p.m. in Milwaukee. From 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock midnight, I was still waiting for my suitcase, and every time the lady at the counter would call to find out where my suitcase is at, we would get different stories. Again, my suitcase was lost, or the flights were delayed. Constantly canceled, delayed, suitcase lost, canceled, delayed. I mean, it was a fucking nightmare. I was like, are you kidding me? What am I going to do now? And at the same time, I had a rental car. Okay, my story gets better, so bear with me. It gets better, I promise. Okay. So I went to get my rental car before it got too late. This is before midnight, okay? I would say this is about between like 8 and 8:30. I went to get my rental car. And I went and got my keys, and the lady at the rental car place, it was an underground, of course, in the parking lot of the airport. And the lady actually put one of the windshields on my rental car up, and she said, well, this indicates that this car is rented, so they don't try to rent it out to other people. I said, okay, that's fine. What she failed to tell me is, be sure to be back at a certain time because we close. Now, I am used to, due to my traveling, I'm used to a lot of rental car places in the airports being open 24 hours. I didn't ask any questions, and the lady at the rental car place failed to tell me to come back at a certain time before the rental car place closes. So I'm thinking everything is fine and dandy. I got my rental car. I called my hotel and said I'm going to be running a couple hours late, so please save my room, which they did. Thank God for that. And I go back to baggage claim, and I'm dealing with this nice lady that helped me throughout the whole night, or try to help me as much as she can, and kept me updated of what was going on with my suitcase. Of course, with it being lost a couple of times, with the story of constantly being delayed. But you know what the crazy part was? Every time they said that Chicago flights have been delayed to Milwaukee, which is only a 20-minute flight. It's an hour, between like an hour and 15-minute drive to a 20-minute flight. And I had seen many flights coming in from Chicago. This is the time when they said that the flights have been delayed, which was bullshit lie, because Chicago to Milwaukee about 6-7 times, different times, bringing passengers and their suitcases. I'm standing there right in front of where all the luggages come in and the flights come in, and I could see it all. But the fact that United Airlines in Chicago continuously lied, telling the employee to let me know that the flights have been canceled or delayed due to the bad weather. It was a bad weather, don't get me wrong, but at least don't fucking lie about it. If you lost my suitcase, let me know. I always get insurance on all my flights for this reason, just to make sure that I'm safe. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so about around midnight comes, and I said, okay, well, I'm done. I'm going to go get my rental car. I'm going to my hotel. As soon as you guys get my suitcase, here is my hotel information. This is where I'm staying at. Just go ahead and deliver my suitcase to my hotel. Fine, everything was fine and dandy, so I thought. It just gets better. So I end up getting my rental car and I'm trying to drive out of the parking lot. And guess what? Everything is locked, everything is closed. All the employees have gone home. And now I am trapped and stuck in the parking lot of this rental car. The true story. Okay, I even have the video you guys could watch the video of the rental car place in the parking lot where there's a sheriff there. Yes, I got a sheriff involved in it. Not one, but two. I have to. So, what happened was I was trapped in there. There was no way out. There was no employees there except for a couple of hotel employees. And they had no idea how to get me out. They didn't have the keys. They didn't have no control over anything that had to do with the rental car place. So what I ended up doing is I contacted the sheriff's department. And these two nice sheriffs, which thank you so much for all your help, from the airport. And the sheriff's department is only like less than 5 minutes away across the street from the airport. They ended up coming over and they got this brilliant idea to take 2 floor mats from my rental car. There's an entrance to the rental car, but there is 2 rows of spikes. So I can't make an exit, but people could come in. So what they did is they put 2 mats, one on each side, held it down with their feet, and I had to drive over the mats on the opposite side to get out of the parking lot. Drama enough for you guys? I mean, it was literally pure hell from the beginning of my trip. And again, let me remind you guys, I travel all the time and I've never ran into something like this in my life before, okay? And I've been doing this for years. I travel around the world. And I think that's what was really frustrating for me because I've never experienced something like this before. So finally, I get out and I get a sheriff escort, my personal own sheriff escort, out of the parking lot because I was going out the wrong direction, which was the only way out that night. And by the time I got out was maybe, I would say, about 12:35, 12:40 in the morning. I was tired. I was exhausted. I just wanted to get to my hotel room and get some sleep. So after the lovely sheriffs helped me, thank you for that, I ended up going to my hotel room and I crashed right out. So the next morning, about 10 o'clock, I wake up. Of course, I kind of slept in a little bit because I was exhausted. And I start calling the Chicago airport. Now they don't give you a direct number. There's an 800 number they give you, but they're able to locate your suitcase. So from 10 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, my suitcase supposedly has been delayed with the flight. Come to find out, United Airlines, you need to stop lying to customers. Because come to find out, there has been many trips from early in the morning till the time I went to pick up my luggage from the airport. There has been many trips from Chicago to Milwaukee, Wisconsin airport, the MKE airport. And I had enough of it. Finally, about 7 o'clock, I called. They said that my luggage is on its way. It's on the airplane. It's in the air. 7:30, I got to the airport. Thank you. My suitcase was waiting for me. I picked it up. I checked it in. And to add the icing on the cake, the handle that pulls up on the suitcase so you can easily drag it, they had broken it. Yes, they broke the handle. So I made a claim. Of course I did. I was going to give them hell because they gave me hell. Overall, I did have a great trip. Everybody in Wisconsin was great. I loved it. We did get stuck in a little bit of a delay in a snowstorm. One of my flights did get canceled, so I had to take another flight back home due to the snowstorm. But overall, it was beautiful. I mean, it it was like white Christmas all over again in Wisconsin. It was really cold though. Really, really, really cold. Colder than usual. But the people there made my trip better. I love you, Wisconsin. Thank you for inviting me. If you guys want me to come to your hometown for investigations, for paranormal activities, for psychic readings, or anything that has to do with the paranormal, psychic medium stuff, you let me know. Contact me at monicaspiritqueen.com. Be sure to leave a phone number. Without a phone number, I get tons of emails a day. Half of them have a phone number and the rest don't. So please, if you don't have a phone number, I'm not contacting you back. I don't play email, text messages, and I've stressed this out a lot. I've been doing this for many years. I've been traveling. I've been helping people out around the world. I've been to England. I've been to Canada. I've been to outside of the country, inside the States. You name it, I've been there. So please, please, please be sure to leave a phone number with your email when you're contacting me, and I would be happy to help you out. I love you guys. Let's go ahead. I got over 1,000 subscribers in such a short period of time. Let's hit 10,000. I would say by the end of March. I know it's kind of pushing it a little bit, but we can do it. We can do it. Let's hit 10,000. So hit that subscribe button, the bell button, because I have new videos coming up every week. And new tutorials. I just got in a couple new videos about how to break certain spells and how to do different things. Again, if you guys need help with spells as well, I'm the person to do it. And I've been doing this for, you have no idea, I would say about 17, 18 years now. And I've been seeing spirits since I was in the 2nd grade. So I literally have 1 foot here and 1 foot in the spiritual realm. I could see and hear spirits clearly, directly. I can contact them. So if you want a reading and you want to contact your loved one that has crossed over, I am the person to contact. My rates are on my website. And I do charge fairly lower than most people, only because of the economy and because I truly, truly, truly want to help you guys and I work with you guys. So contact me anytime, monicaspiritqueen.com, and I would be happy to help you guys. I love you. Thank you for all your love and support. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and I will see you soon. Take care.